back to Roundhay Park now. I'm here not just to enjoy the park, but to learn about butterflies. According to a report by Butterfly Conservation UK, 80% of our native butterfly species have declined since the 1970s, and half of the UK's remaining butterfly species could be at risk of extinction. Conservationists are working desperately hard to reverse this, and Roundhay Park is playing a vital role in this work. I'm joined now by Lisa Bath, who's one of the conservators working on this project. Lisa, can you tell us what you're aiming to do here?
We're just aiming to try and increase native wildflower meadows around this area, so in the hope that we can attract and provide suitable habitat for the native butterflies that, as you say, are declining by up to 80%. So it's really important that we make environments for them to be able to come and live out their natural life cycle and breed and be healthy.
So you say you're trying to provide more wildflower space. Is that one of the major reasons why butterflies have suffered so much, the decline in that sort of habitat?
Yeah, butterflies need very specific plants to complete their life cycle, so native plants are really important to them. A lot of our gardens these days, although they're really beautiful and all flowers help, need native plants to be able to survive, so that we have a lot of cultivated plants and a lot of very nice manicured lawns, and which is not necessarily good for native wildlife. So we're trying to provide areas within our parks that have beautiful flowers and still look really nice, but are more suitable for the natural wildlife that we find there.
So whereabouts in Roundhay Park are you making changes?
At the moment we've just planted a few meadows which we're planning to increase yearly. At the moment the largest one we have, which is down by the Folly in Roundhay Park, is just in front of that, and we also have one sort of in the middle of the park which is just to the left hand side of the cricket pitch area. There's also a smaller planted area which is with the Friends of Roundhay Park, and we're going to increase that year by year, so we've got 3 meadows on the go there at the moment.
So reducing the amount of mowing and allowing wildflowers to come through.
Yeah, these are specific areas which we don't mow, we just allow to generate naturally. There's mown areas around them, but these are just left throughout the summer to complete their natural life cycle of the plants.
And when did this project start?
This was April 2023 that we started scarifying the area and growing the seeds. We got donations from Natural England of the wildflower seed mix, so that we knew we were getting the right plants for butterflies that were having issues. We started off with just a smaller area. I say smaller area, it was like 1,800 metres square, so it seems like it's quite a large area, but we're planning every year to make this larger as we go along to hopefully see good results and make these areas bigger.
And have you got a baseline survey with which you can compare the starting point so that we can see what happens over the years?
Yeah, we started to do in conjunction with the Butterfly Monitoring Scheme is that we do what we call transect walks, and we started to do those while we were starting the project in April. So every week we go out and walk a specific route and count the numbers of butterflies that we see, and we're doing this weekly throughout the summer period when butterflies are the most active, and we walk around and we take a tally of the butterflies that we're noticing in the areas. So we've got that to start as a baseline, and as the project progresses the flowers become more, and we can then walk around and hopefully we'll see that there's an improvement, and we'll be able to tie this in with the Butterfly Monitoring Scheme, and that feeds into a larger countrywide project which they also monitor themselves.
Great, so not just numbers but also the species where you can identify?
Yep. We see specific species like specific areas, so we've got plants down there, the ones we usually see, we've got some speckled woods down there, we usually see some orange tips as well, they're quite the common ones that we notice on our walks. So we do have a few painted ladies and peacocks which seem to like to be in the more cultivated gardens, but we're monitoring that as well, and we do like to see whether we've noticed anything.
Which are the most unusual of the ones that have been seen at Roundhay?
We have spotted a purple hair streak here, which is quite exciting for us.
Oh, what do they look like?
It's actually a really pretty butterfly. It's quite large and very nice sort of dark purple colour, which is really, really pretty.
Oh yes, I can see the picture that you called up with the black edges.
Yeah.
It's very regal looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, very special. I think people would realise if they saw that it was unusual.
Yeah, I think you'd notice if you saw one of those. That's why it was quite exciting for us to see it.
We're just outside Tropical World next to Roundhay Park. And how does the wildlife conservation work fit with what you're doing here with the indoor environment?
We're quite famous for our butterflies here. We've always been a large butterfly house. We have more tropical species. So we're just trying to raise awareness of our local species, our native species to this country, and to how people can help out with that. It's really important for zoos and collections to be doing conservation for native wildlife as well as for wildlife overseas. So we're just really trying to use our platform of being somewhere that's known for butterflies and raise awareness of the native and the environmental impacts that's happening in this country as well as abroad.
So have you got notices up inside Tropical World about the work that you're doing in the park?
Yeah, we've got a conservation board. It's just in the entrance hall as you come in. You'll see the frogs and the spiders, which everyone cringes at. So on the opposite wall, we've got a conservation board which tells the visitors all about the park, all about butterfly conservation with the statistics, and there's QR codes for people to log onto the websites for the Butterfly Conservation Scheme to get involved with that and to get further information. There's also posters and placards of the work that we're doing in the park. So yes.
Excellent. As we were arriving, a school party was coming into Tropical World. I guess that's one of your main audiences here.
Yeah, we're fortunate we cater for a lot of school groups, and it's really part of our key audience, and that is going to really fit in with our big butterfly weekend. We really want to cater for the younger generation and get them interested and educated in wanting to participate in preserving the natural world and working towards habitat and climate change, and just giving them a sound knowledge, but through fun activities. So hopefully it'll be sort of fun and educational for them.
So they become ambassadors to their families and their communities.
Yeah, and just showing that everyone can be involved in butterfly conservation. You don't have to work here or work out in the gardens. You can just do it at home and in your own environment, and then hopefully want to go home and learn more about it. They'll come here and do the face painting, and then they'll go home and then they'll want to learn more about the butterflies, hopefully.
And I hope that if it's a case where there's fake grass at home, they will say, Mum, why have we got fake grass? Why haven't we got a real lawn?
Well, hopefully. We can only hope that that's one of the messages they will take away.
Too much of an outdoor room rather than an actual green space.
Yes.
So all of this comes under the heading of climate, energy and green spaces. And all those things are absolutely interconnected. And so this project that you're doing here with some acres of wildflowers in Roundhay Park and the education programme, it's all nested within this much bigger, in fact, global agenda. And that's why we have this programme called Think Global, Act Local. So as well as this project with the areas of wildflowers and walks that help to spread the word about it, what else is happening to try to help butterfly conservation?
In July, on the 14th and 15th, we're actually running a big butterfly weekend here at Tropical World, which is going to feed into the big butterfly count, which happens on that weekend, which is in association with the Butterfly Monitoring Scheme. And it's just for people to get out and count the butterflies that they're seeing in their garden, in their local park, and to feed this information online onto the butterfly count to help get a citizen science idea of the butterfly situation in the country.
Just explain that lovely term, citizen science.
So citizen science is a really nice term, actually. It's something that people can all get involved in. So it's when people that aren't trained scientists, members of the public, you and I, local people just get involved and they input their data of what they're seeing. And the reason that it's so important to scientists monitoring wildlife is it gives a really broad overall view of areas where they don't usually get to, like people's gardens, private areas, and people can input data and it really gets a large overall picture.
So it's a bit like the Great Garden Bird Watch.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah, very good. So what else can people be doing to help butterfly conservation?
Well, there's many things that people can do in their own garden. We've just had No Mow May. It's leaving that a little bit longer, letting the wildflowers grow in their garden. There's also seed mixes, which are becoming quite commonly available, that people can buy online through the Butterfly Monitoring Scheme groups and also Natural England. And they have really good plans of what flowers attract butterflies, and just keeping like a nice natural garden with plenty of flowers can also be really good for butterflies, as well as taking part in these schemes like the butterfly count, just to help to monitor. All of these are really important for people to get involved with and help conservationists in the UK have a really good picture, and providing habitats is also very important.
Good. And I guess that when it comes to garden flowers, as with bees, it's better to have the single blooms rather than these great fluffy double blooms, the really fancy cultivars. I gather that it's better for insects to have the more open single flowers.
Yeah, we've actually been doing some work within our tropical house trying to cultivate some dahlias this year, and yeah, we're definitely trying to grow more the ones with the more daisy type head with the open pollen in the middle, because ones that are double petalled and difficult to get into, it's hard for butterflies to be able to get the pollen and the nectar from that, so they really need it on display with easy access. So those sorts of flowers, you are right, are definitely the best ones to be growing.
Like having a sweet shop with the trays, nice and easy for children to reach.
Yeah, you don't want loads of wrappers on it.
Lovely, thank you, Lisa. That's really interesting and a wonderful good news story when there's so much damage being done to the environment, but anything we can do to help to reverse those trends is going in the right direction.
Yeah.
Thank you.